Hello and welcome to the Baron's Game Room. I'm Aaron as always, and y'all, it is officially the start of a spooky month. Alright. Now, I know last year I ended up doing, most of my month was spent doing the Stephen Rhodes trilogy of games. These guys right here. And since then, I have received the newest second little trilogy of Stephen Rhodes games. But I've also received a bunch of other games that I feel fit the spooky month theme a little better, or at least I really want to do them because I really like those games. So I don't think I'll be doing all three of these Stephen Rhodes ones this month. I'll be doing them later, but I will certainly be starting off with Let's Call the Exorcist. I think Let's Call the Exorcist is easily the most scary themed game of this new trilogy. Also, I literally just went to the movie theater last night and watched the 50th anniversary showing of The Exorcist. Let's Call the Exorcist is a social deduction hidden role game for 4 to 8 players, as most of these style of games are. And I think, once again, the age is more just for the theming and content, because really, gameplay-wise, if you're old enough to lie, then you're old enough to play. Setup for this game varies, depending on how many players you have. But regardless of how many of these you have, you always have some innocent players and some possessed players. Like any hidden role game, you're going to mix up your little role tiles and hand them out to each player secretly, where they need to make sure they look at it and other people don't. Obviously, only you need to know what role you're playing. Then you'll make a deck consisting of these 4 card types: cursed artifacts, which the possessed players are looking for; holy artifacts, which the innocent players are looking for; mischief, which tends to just kind of cause some random chaos; and blessings, which are usually good things for the player that finds them. Once you've got the proper amount of cards and you shuffle them up, distribute them evenly among all the players. And lastly, before starting the game, make sure every player gets 1 little communion wafer point. Now, once each player has been dealt their cards, they can look at what cards they were given. But after everyone looks at their cards, they will mix them up and place them face down in front of them. So you'll know what cards you have, but you won't know what location they are in front of you. Now, players will take turns being the Seeker. The Seeker will end up selecting a face-down card in front of another player to flip over. They are referred to as the Chosen. When the Seeker selects a card, the Chosen player simply flips over that card. If it is a blessing or a mischief, you will immediately do whatever the effect on that card says. If it is a cursed or holy artifact, you will set it into the middle of the table. In each round, the point of the game is for the innocent players to reveal all of the holy artifacts, and for the possessed players to reveal all of the cursed artifacts. Now, there are always going to be more innocent players than possessed players, thus there's always going to be more holy artifacts than cursed artifacts. After a player reveals their card, they will become the new Seeker, and will select a card in front of another player. Players will continue taking turns being the Seeker and the Chosen until you have flipped over cards equal to the number of players. For example, in a 4-player game, once 4 cards have been revealed, that is the end of that deal. At the end of a deal, you will take all the remaining face-down cards on the table, gather them up, shuffle them up again, and redistribute them amongst all the players evenly again. Repeat this process over and over again until you have a winning team. Again, all the holy or all of the cursed artifacts being revealed. Once you have a winner, all players will reveal whatever their role is. All innocent players will score 2 points if all of the holy artifacts are revealed, and all possessed players will get 2 points if all the cursed artifacts are revealed. And then it's rinse and repeat from there. At the end of a round, you'll collect all the cards, end up making a new deck if you want, redistribute them around the table, and again, give new roles to every player, and you're going to do this over and over again until someone at the end of a round has 7 points. If at the end of a round a player has 7 or more points, they win the game. Now, I've told you how to play it, but honestly, as far as the review goes, if you've played social deduction games like this before, then you probably know whether or not you like this kind of game. I personally really do like these sorts of games. Big fan of games like Secret Hitler and stuff like that. This one, I end up loving because I like the theme of it's a little easier to push. Some people get weird about the whole Hitler thing. Some things that are different about this are the Mischief and Blessing cards. Those are a lot of fun. They can end up causing you to like switch roles and stuff around throughout the game, almost sort of like you're playing Werewolf. And like in Werewolf, you don't always necessarily know the new role you're getting. So even though you started the game as innocent, after a few flips and switches and all that, you might have no clue what team you're on. So you're kind of not even sure which team to be trying to go for, which I guess sort of just adds to the plausible deniability of you being a bad guy. You're like, I think Aaron's possessed. No, I mean, I was innocent at first. I think I'm still innocent. I'm still gonna play like I'm innocent, you know? But, which some people might have an issue with. Some people might feel like they've kind of lost something when they can't plan to make sure they win the round when they don't even know what they are. I think that adds a little bit of chaotic fun myself. Just like with all the Steven Rhodes stuff, the art is fantastic. It's got tons of great, funny references and everything. I always really find the art in these games to be very humorous and all that. Personally, a big fan of it. For me, personally, I gotta say, it's not obvious at this point. Let's call The Exorcist as Baron approved, y'all. I wanted to make some kind of Exorcist reference here, but I don't think there's anything for that movie I could say that wouldn't get this video restricted.